It's like the old saying goes, if you give the nickel to the man will open up his heart unto you, the old man said as he walked around blindly through the alleyways, spitting out knowledge and great wisdom. I was once told when I was a young boy that if you monitor yourself, you will monitor the world. And he continued, feeling along the path as he walked down the cobblestones of the great city of Rakamavanaka. And he said these things, and the people disregarded him, took no thought to the many things that this man said. But he continued nonetheless. Where there is hope, there is more hope in the world, he continued saying, till he got to the steps of the palace. He took one step up and said, Buy a man a horse, he may ride it. Purchase a horse for a man, and he will ride it forever, he said. He got up to about the 10th step, turned his head, though he saw nothing, because he was blind. But he sensed a person, maybe a human person, crawling up the steps. He had a follower. Someone was listening. So he continued, unperturbed, unbeknownst, up the stairs. Where there are lots of givings, there are more purposeful gettings, he said. And he heard another, possible human, crawling up the steps behind him. There was another listening. He was almost to the top of the steps leading into the palace entrance, and he said, We are all people, except for those who are not. And those who are not people will one day learn the essence of humanity. And he entered into the palace courtyard. He could sense things because he was blind, and his other senses became better, more nicely done they were. He could hear things, sense things, move things with his mind, but not that last part. He couldn't do that. But he was more than just a blind man. He was a wise blind man who could hear pretty good. And he listened, and there was about 10 crawling after him. And he turned and he said, I know that you have been following me. What are ye? Are ye of mice or men or muskrats? And they're like, we're muskrats. He's like, dang it. What the? I was hoping for like men, maybe mice, but muskrats? And they're like, come on, give us a chance, man. Don't be so judgmental. We really like what you're saying. It's really super meaningful. And he's like, I'll take what I can get. And he continued into the palace. And he became into the room where the throne sat. And he said his final platitude. Ye who has a throne has gold, but ye who rules the entire universe. And he sat on the emperor's throne. Who is this man? The muskrat said, who sits on the emperor's throne. And the blind man removed his hood and took off his cloak. And lo and behold, he was the emperor. And he was testing his people to see if they would listen to wisdom. And to his much chagrin, only the muskrats listened. And the emperor learned a great lesson that day. Muskrats are more loyal than humans, and mice are more plentiful than the water above. And he ruled his kingdom, appointing muskrats as his servants and as his closest confidants, until one day he died, and the muskrat became king. And the muskrat's like, what the heck am I doing as king? I'm a flippin' muskrat. And they all dispersed back into the water until a new king would come and learn the secrets of the varmints. The end. If this story was meaningful to you, or if it was not meaningful to you, then write in the comments something you want me to say. A word, a phrase, an idea. And I'll get it into the next story that I tell. Also, subscribe, because it will be the best thing you've ever done.